ABC's Kirk Hawkins begins our coverage live from Nags Head. Good morning to you, Kirk.
Good morning to you, Rena and Timon. I have to tell you, conditions have really deteriorated out here. The wind is really a major factor, so we have a wind gauge. I'm going to give you an idea of just what the winds are like by using this right now. And taking a look, it says it's about 33, 34, but I have to tell you, the wind gusts are much more powerful than that. It's very difficult to stand here and speak with you now. Now, because of those conditions, county officials here have restricted access to the Outer Banks.
Sinister skies, rising tides, and whipping winds are heralding the approach of Arthur. For many beachgoers, the hurricane means a short end to the long holiday weekend.
I think it messes up the holiday for everyone.
Already, Arthur is drenching parts of North Carolina, wreaking havoc on the roads and making escape difficult for those fleeing his path. The hurricane is already claiming vacations as casualties.
We had planned to go on a fishing trip today, and unfortunately our trip was canceled at 5 a.m. this morning due to the weather.
Arthur's eye made landfall near Cape Lookout after 11 p.m. Eastern Time. It's still a Category 2 hurricane with winds around 100 miles per hour. Evacuations are underway along North Carolina's Outer Banks. Residents and tourists gassed up and shoved off.
We're packing up to head to safer grounds and hope that they call us back.
For those planning to ride out the heavy weather, officials have somber advice.
If you encounter high water, turn around. There's a very simple mantra there that don't drown, turn around.
And back out here live, I can tell you it's very difficult to continue standing here where I remain overlooking the ocean. If you're familiar with the Nags Head area, we're not too far away from the Nags Head fishing pier, and I can see out at the Atlantic Ocean. I can tell you that high surf is very much an issue here, as well as tidal flooding. As you may remember, just 4 years ago, Hurricane Irene washed away an entire highway, so that is still very much a concern. Live at Nags Head, North Carolina, Kirk Hawkins for ABC News. Timon and Rena, back to you.
Kirk, the image of your live shot is amazing. I hope you can hear us. I'm wondering about tornado warnings up and down the North Carolina and Virginia coast. What are you hearing about that?
Well, you know, as soon as Arthur made landfall shortly after 11 o'clock last night, there were tornado warnings up and down the coast of North Carolina, as well as power outages. At last check, Duke Energy in North Carolina said it had more than 21,000 customers that were without power.
Well, Kirk, we know that 102-mile-per-hour winds have been recorded in Cape Lookout. You mentioned one of the main highways there where you are. Were people able to get on the roads and to get to safety? Are there still a lot of people there this morning?
You know, for most of the day, the roads, there was a lot of really strong traffic on the roadways here around the Outer Banks. And in fact, we spotted it outside our hotel, and the traffic volumes continued for most of the day. So it appeared that a lot of people were leaving. Even when we were checking in and out of different hotels here, we saw that people were trying to get out of town. But at the same point, there were a lot of people that remained, and a curfew is in place until 6 o'clock this morning.
And you've been in that position, Kirk, all evening. Do you get a sense that the worst is over? Or does it feel like it's really picking up right now?
It really, really is, especially the wind gusts. Very strong, especially in the last few minutes when we've been talking with you.
An ABC News reporter, Kirk Hawkins, joins us live at the UCLA campus with more now. Kirk?
Larry, right now there are still some detours and closures in place, and city officials wrapped up a news conference a short time ago. They now are saying that it could take at least 48 hours until this neighborhood and the campus of UCLA returns to normal.
The streets of Los Angeles transformed into a raging river.
That sinkhole is getting bigger and bigger. It's only getting worse.
A nearly century-old water main 30 inches in diameter burst Monday afternoon, creating a 15-foot hole and sending up to 10 million gallons of water, surging into a busy street and onto the UCLA campus at a rate of 35,000 gallons per minute. All this coming at the height of a historic California drought.
When you have this amount of water, it's like a flash flood. You'd never know what's going to happen.
UCLA's legendary basketball arena, Pauley Pavilion, recently renovated for $132 million, submerged. Crews plan to assess the extent of the damage today after working around the clock to protect the court.
It's really upsetting. I mean, like, it's not nice to see it.
The flood of water also trapping hundreds of cars in UCLA's underground parking lots. Firefighters even having to rescue 5 people. Outside the campus resembling a water park. This staircase a wading pool. This woman towing a friend down the sidewalk.
The quantity of water that came out of these pipes is something I don't think we've ever seen on the campus.
Now, fixing the location of that leak is a very complex process. That's because officials say 2 very large pipes broke, and that's adding to the delays associated with this whole cleanup and repair process. Live in Los Angeles, Kirk Hawkins, ABC 7 News. Alma, back to you.
All right, Kirk, thank you so much. And we have found